How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I'm going to go and do a bit of a simpler mission. It's on Big Salmon Peak. It's called Piping Problem, and it looks like there's not too far to go. I'm going to take the P12 because I'd like to test out the new bumper, as they've added a few new options that are a little bit higher up. Yeah, it says I've got to go to there and grab medium pipes and then take them to there, so it looks pretty simple. But I had a gut feeling that it was lying. Oh, subliminal loaf. Yeah, this is the bumpers, like that's the one that it originally just forced you to have. These ones have got a hell of a lot more ground clearance, particularly that one. That's the one I'm going with. It kind of suits it fairly well, but yeah, it's just the fact that it sits a lot higher, so this thing was one less thing to troll you, really, is catching the front bumper on a load of stuff, which I believe you've seen it happen in the review and stuff. I'm not sure whether to do another review on this, because they've not actually fixed anything other than like the bumper. The thing's still pretty gutless. It'll handle basically identical to the review, but yeah, it just won't get caught as much. So like I say, it's better than nothing. I'm glad they've addressed it. It's another one that's, yeah, there's another truck that's been slightly improved. As for this one though, yeah, I'm bringing, I've got the crane with me. I wasn't sure if I'd need it or not, because like I said, I've got a funny feeling that the where it says I've got to go and get medium pipes, it's being a lying bastard. Because I'm sure I went there the other day for something else, and I was like, what? There's like no cargo of any kind there, unless I'm just tripping or missing something, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. But at this point, I didn't really know where else to go or what else to do anyway, where else to get medium pipes. I was like, I'll go there and we'll see. We'll sniff around for some information and see what happens. Yeah, just bring the little sideboard with me as well. Like I said, I'm doing a bit of a smaller one tonight, because I've had a banging headache all night I just can't get rid of. Feels like an alien is trying to shag my brain or something, and there's quite a lot of brain to shag, so this might take a while. So yeah, but I will reply to some comments as well. I just, again, like staring at the phone screen, not feeling too good. I wasn't too bad playing it. I just turned my TV down a bit darker, and it was yeah, it was all good. See, this is the one thing I wish they would sort with the P12. It's just not quite got the guts to it. While I was going up that hill, by the way, I was kind of switching between first gear auto and high-low, and yeah, I'm still not convinced anymore that they're even a different gear. And in this situation, they don't even really seem to play out as a different rev range. It's still, there is a certain value to going into high-low over first gear auto, because obviously they've also adjusted it where it seems, not necessarily in this because I haven't really got the guts, but it'll try and jump into second gear and then it's not got enough power, and then it'll do the little, you know, where it'll stop you, lose your momentum, jump back down to first. So yeah, and I believe, like I've said before, I think they kind of set that situation purposely to make high-low more of a reasonable option, which is a little bit kind of meh. If you have to nerf something you originally had just to make something else usable, it's kind of, yeah, probably not the best way to go around it. A little bit, again, like with the cranes and winches, I'm still not entirely sure why they've made them worse. I can't remember. I was using the Russian crane the other day, the big crane as well, and I think it was the loaf it wouldn't even lift. It was pretty bad. This one is slightly better, but it's still pretty damn weak. But yeah, someone did say the other week that try the American one, like they reckon it is a bit better, and yeah, I do agree. I think this has definitely got the edge for whatever reason. See, it's a shame this truck hasn't got more muscle to it, because it's in some ways, other than the lack of guts to it, yeah, I do think it's a pretty cool truck. It's pretty decently sized. I do quite like the bigger trucks in this game, just because they, I don't know, yeah, that's the sort of cooler stuff I'd rather go bombing around in. So I just don't know why this feels so sort of gutless compared to the P16, really. And the P16, even though like the power to weight ratio is not that high on it, yeah, it feels pretty good most of the time, 9 out of 10 sort of thing. In this map though, again, because they've fiddled around with the terrain, could be anyone's guess. Yeah, look, you get here. I thought now I was like, aha, found something, but nope, it'll say 0 cargo left. At which point it's like, what are you trying to imply? That I'm going to fetch these materials and stock you up? Like, why would I do that? Why would I not just take them back to my garage? Stock them up where I need them. One day I'd like to set one of these garages up, kind of my ideal garage, get a load of vehicles all parked in there properly, get some trailers properly lined up, which is pretty rare for me. Yeah, I'm 99.9% sure that that yellow box thing telling me that there's some medium pipes over there was not there when I originally selected this mission, as if it knew, like, bait me all the way over to this warehouse and then tell me, oh, you just got to go a bit further. So that's what happened. I couldn't be arsed driving around that loading platform, so I was like, we'll see. We'll test this new bumper out, see how well it does. And again, even cutting over here, it's pretty certain it would have caught its bumper. Like, there's a pretty harsh little dip, yeah, running along the edge of that railroad. So that's one nice thing as well about these bigger trucks, is the trailer doesn't really have as much say usually in what you're doing, especially a little trailer like this. Whichever way I'm going, that's going with me. The horn, I mean, goddamn, that needs sorting out. At least that tree was killable. I was pretty happy with that. There's a big one looking out the window. That's right, bitch. Tell your friends. Yeah, you'll start to see the power going a little bit, like, you'll start to see the wheels judder a bit, and I suppose the crane on my back, well, it shouldn't really affect it that much. It might knock the power to weight down by 1 notch, but one thing that I have to say to the P12's credit, even though there isn't that much muscle in it, because it has got pretty big tyres, I also like the fact that I think it offers you both types of chain tyres, but more importantly, it gives you the mud chained, which is what I've got on now. Yeah, obviously you got a normal set of muds as well, and then I assume there is a different type of chained, but if I'm honest, I didn't really look at them. I remember doing that test. Yeah, snuck up on that one as well. Yeah, I remember doing like the different chain tyre tests with the Derry 4520 and whatever other option it gave you besides the chain muds. They were pretty shocking by comparison, and the Derry 4520 doesn't need any more reason to yeah, be limited. Like, say, these sort of trucks, yeah, this is the American one as well. They need to add like the twin steer engine into this, unless it's already in there, but I don't know, I highly doubt it. It's pretty bad if it is. And yeah, the same with the Derry. So this is like one of the ways out to cut through when you go to get one of the watchtowers. If I turned to my right now, I believe that's where the watchtower is. And that, by the way, just when I looked at the cargo menu it brought up, I must have been steering at the time, and it locks you, like, it seems whatever acceleration and steering you're doing when you open that menu, it leaves it on, so it just steered me straight into that house. I wanted to see if that tree was killable. Turns out it wasn't. Although when I hit it, there was like some mini dead tree that flew out of it, so we'll call it even. And this thing, yeah, considering the lack of power, it was actually not going too bad through here. Like I said, I think the muds, or the chain muds, were doing pretty nicely. The muds would probably do alright, because this thing's pretty slow anyway. Like the yeah, the muds are pretty decent as well. When I was, like, the other day with the custom muds, like, they seem to be a bit more of a trollish set, because they sit so wide. That's where they seem to wade a lot, but the normal muds are still better, but I still think the chain just seems to be muds, but with the chains on them, so they work in the on like the icy roads and all sort. They grip the way up rocks better and stuff. So yeah, this is the trailer. This is apparently my cargo for today. And typical, the trailer's even facing the wrong way. So yeah, trying to reverse it out. This is where a little bit more power would be nice, but we'll get there. To be honest, I only thought I needed one set of medium pipes, but I need two. So it was a good job. I'd nearly considered just ripping one lot of pipes off there and putting it in my trailer, just because I don't like the ramped flatbed. It wasn't the pipes that were the issue. It's the trailer they're on. Thing is like a bit of an anchor. And a bit of a wanker. I mean, it's a good job they sent a professional, really. Gotta be careful around nature. Gotta preserve it. God damn it, trailer. Right now, whatever's tipping me just tips me, and then I don't know. It was like, okay, you can get tipped back now. Like, I still can't work out why I went and then it just tipped back so nicely and easily, but like, whatever. We'll carry on, and yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's not even grip. Like, the middle axle has stopped, the front ones are just jiggling, the back one's barely skimming, but yeah, I mean that's not very good, not very acceptable. And like I say, I'm pretty sure this has got the same engine as the P16, so but that's where, like, is it because it's feeding one more axle, like it's had to split the power even more? I mean, that was my worry with the twin steer when they made it all-wheel drive, but that really didn't seem to affect it. And I'm pretty sure they didn't double the power on the twin steer. I think that just had enough power, generally speaking, that it was able to feed the rest of this thing. Yeah, like I say, on the P16, where it's just got to feed 2 lots of rear axles, it seems pretty solid, whereas this thing is a little bit shaky at times. Couldn't even make it up there. It's pretty, pretty depressing. So I guess all I needed was a loaf. That's where I went wrong. It would have got me straight up that hill. About now, by the way, if I seem, I was going to say a bit vacant with my driving, more vacant than usual, because to be honest, I'm paying attention barely about 10% of the time. But yeah, I heard a cow moo about now, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, it must have been in the game. And then, yeah, about 5-10 seconds later, I heard a cow's going past my window, running down the main road, and eventually there was like a farmer's pickup thing behind him, which is pretty good. He seemed pretty far behind though, considering, yeah, it's like a main road. Stuff goes pretty bloody fast down there, and it's first thing in the morning, and it's pretty goddamn foggy, so I'm not sure how well that'll go, but might be some free steaks later. So fortunately this mission wasn't too long because, yeah, I mean, I want to use all the different trucks and mix and match and that. This was a pretty good excuse to bring this thing out, but I certainly don't think the P12 would be faring too well up in the mountains in the snowier sections, particularly the hilly sections, as you can see from when I was dragging this trailer out of like that little, well, like super pothole. Yeah, it just didn't have the guts, so I wouldn't really enjoy this thing going around Big Salmon Peak, or probably too much flooded foothills, to be honest. But again, fingers crossed, mods are going to be coming out pretty soon. I know they were originally, or I believe anyway, aiming to have the mods released when this second phase of DLC did. Then it seemed to get delayed, but I heard it was kind of supposed to be fairly soon after the phase 2. So fingers crossed, it should be coming up pretty soon. Possibly when they update this pretty soon and fix things like the forklift controls and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see, and that's kind of what I've been banking on and hoping for a while, particularly since they do keep nerfing so many things throughout this game. Yeah, by now, I'd happily like just take mods and essentially get an adjusted version of quite a lot of the trucks. And I don't want anything super OP. Well, I'll probably, like I've said, a 1,000,000 horsepower twin steer or something silly, just because for the hell of it, I want to see if I can smash new paths through forests or whatever. But other than that, it's like, I just want trucks that feel pretty balanced and realistic. I mean, stuff like the Navistar, I wish they'd just let everybody have that by now, because quite a lot of people, I believe, particularly on PC, don't really have access to it, and it's not that it's one of the strongest trucks in the game. I think the Dolphin had beat it, the Tiger, the Voron Grad, but it's just very well balanced. Like, it feels realistically weighted, and the way it behaves and everything, it's just a nice truck to drive in this game. And yeah, we'll see if mods can help that situation. And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of at this point even happy just to do missions with a modded truck. I know, and I agree as well, like there's certain things where I want to do the mission how the game intended, but yeah, if they're just going to keep making things so dull and boring and slow in some situations, then I'm happy just to, I'd say I've done enough of the game now to where I know how the game works. I can get from A to B, if you know what I mean. I've got every truck there is, so there's not really a situation that, I know you can catch you out in individual levels and you can roll and whatever, but generally speaking, I'm pretty confident I can conquer every section of the map, so I'm not too worried about trying to, yeah, trying to strictly stick to like a stock version of the vehicles if this is their idea of stock. So fortunately, found a little shortcut through the fence. It's pretty goddamn convenient. It looks pretty cool now. To be fair, this thing's actually ticking along relatively nicely, considering. There might be a road under here though, because I did drive through it. It might have been in one of these actually the other day. And yeah, it was going along suspiciously well. But as I'm following a line of telegraph poles along, there may be like an old road here. Looks pretty cool though, looks a bit like a boat. Well, probably a loose definition of the word boat. Still, again, a horn is so weak and crap. Like, how did they make the P16 horn so good, and this one so meh? The same with the trucks, to be honest. I think the P16 is a beast, and this thing I just still not too keen on. But it was I wanted to bring it out because, I mean, it is a Canadian truck. It's apparently built in Canada. This is the Canadian map. And it's funny, to be honest, because I was driving some things around earlier. The P16, I have to say, one downfall on this map is, like, some of the icy roads. Yeah, you have absolutely no grip at all. I was just wheel spinning like mad trying to climb up a hill. And it's a bit of a shame that it's about time now in this game where they either need to offer chained on every vehicle or do something to the like icy grip levels of the other tyres, because they are just horrifically bad. And overall, I mean, the P16's got bloody good grip generally everywhere, but yeah, there's nothing you can do on the icy roads. They just have no traction. In the end, I was kind of driving along the edge of the road. There's like, even though there was barriers and that, there is a little bit of snow just running along the edges of the road, which I was able to catch my wheels in, and then, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Nice little thumbnail shot there. And yeah, just got to go down here, and that's mission about done. And this section, overall, it's not too bad. I've been through here with a few trucks now. It's kind of like the muddy section, well, just completely swamped at the bottom of the map. And yeah, I figured it'd be like a horrifically bad driving around here, but it's not been that bad. Like I said, I mean, even this P12 is doing pretty nice through here. And yeah, it's not the greatest for power. It'd be nice if there was more excuse so far to use, you know, the forklifts like a bit. It's just cargo anyway, but that Cat 770G, I've not really, there's not really much reason to use that at the minute. I think there is some trailers I've got to drop off eventually, but I can't even unlock that mission until I've done all the other ones. But we'll get there. If not, I'll just go and find something else to do. We'll just invent a mission. So yeah, as right now I realised I did need 2 metal pipes, so it was all good. That's about it. Just blew the guy's mailbox up. My bad. But yeah, that's about it for today. It's a bit of a short one, but I hope you've enjoyed. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.